But yes, so we're going to do our usual thing. We're going to get to the movie watching challenge really quick. We do have a couple Tuesday Newsday topics to get to. And in about the 30-minute mark, we are going to start the trivia. So you can keep an eye on that. So let's get to it. We're going to do the movie watching challenge. And of course, Jake was challenged to watch. Oh, well, it's the movie watching challenge time, I should say. Yes. Awesome logo.
We're just. Why are you laughing, Brian? It's
because I was like, at first I was like, what's going on?
No, and then it went up. I was supposed to.
It's a transition, guy. Yeah. It's a transition, and Jacob flopped the transition.
I did, but we need like music. We need like dun 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 dun, like something like that to go along with the.
Maybe it's great.
Go along with it.
It's great. It's great.
But
it's great.
It looks amazing.
It's
as
great.
Always, Jake.
Thank you to the amazing. Thank you to the amazing Boomstick for that one. Boomstick, you're a genius.
Awesome.
I bow to you and all of your geniusness. So thank you.
Looks amazing, definitely. But yes, as I was saying, Jake was challenged to watch Reservoir Dogs, and I believe that was a Brian movie. So Brian hit 2 in a row here, and Jake's going to go ahead and discuss the film.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave all 5 of us on here because I think I'm the only one who hasn't seen it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have. Yes.
That's what So I'm the only one who hadn't seen it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a rarity.
It is, and it's a rarity because it's a Tarantino film. But no, I obviously you go into a Tarantino film expecting certain types of movies, right? Certain writing direction and character arcs and stuff like that. And he's always really good at crafting a story and kind of making it unique to itself. And in comparison to a lot of other things that come out around the time, I didn't know this, but this movie came out the year I was born, which is wild. This came out in 92. And so I literally watched a movie that was 29 years old. And it's got a baby face Tarantino in it. Michael Madsen, Harvey Keitel, like all of these characters, Buscemi, you get all these characters in here. Tim Roth, who is a typical guy for Tarantino. And I didn't realize, because I did no research on it. Not a single thing. I didn't really know what it was about. I didn't know how the story was told. And I was very surprised on how it was told. Essentially, each character's perspective throughout the film and then until you get to the very end, obviously. I was very intrigued. I was very interested. And I really enjoyed how he crafted it around all these different characters and how the characters always felt so different from everybody's perspective, which is very cool because you get performances from these people, from like example, from Orange's perspective, White may look different, but from Blue's perspective, White looks completely different. So it's very interesting. It's very cool how it's told. It definitely gives off a Tarantino vibe. And I'm still wondering about that ending. a little bit because it obviously cuts off at the end, which is really cool. It's a really cool little aspect. It's like that whole Inception thing, right? Where you're like wondering what really happens, who pulled the trigger first or at all. But all the performances were great. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as like brutal as most Tarantino movies are these days. It was very subdued compared to what he is now. And it was very cool to go back and watch something that was early on in his career. And you can kind of see the footing for what he has now, but how things have evolved over time for him, in 30 years. I mean, it's a big gap. So I'm definitely happy I watched it. I want to, Tarantino doesn't have a lot of movies, and there's only, I think, maybe 1 or 2 more that I haven't seen, one off the top of my head. And I want to make sure I watch them all, but I'm happy that I was able to watch this. It was enjoyable. And Brian, good call on this one, man.
Thank you. I like that the one that you have remaining is Keith's favorite movie.
I'm sure eventually he'll watch that one. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you appreciate it, man, because that's, I didn't know if you were going to like it or not, to be honest. So good to hear that you did.
Yeah, I mean, but you
I was gonna say, how could you not like it? All the colors.
I remember getting this. This is one of the first DVDs I ever bought when DVDs were starting to explode. And yeah, it was the 10-year anniversary maybe when it came out when I bought it. So I got the Mr. White, the Harvey Keitel one. He's Mr. White, right? Yeah, he's Mr. White. I haven't seen this in a long time either. But it definitely it does kind of have you can tell it's his first movie, but you hit around the head where it's like a lot of the kind of the framework for how he tells the stories.
It's lower budget too. You can just
absolutely.
feel
I think it was only like $1 million or something like that.
Well, and the movie really only takes place in so many scenes. There's not really like there isn't really like a whole lot that happens inside of the movie, but the story is so fleshed out because it's so character driven, and that's what Tarantino is known for these days, is creating incredible characters. And like you said, the framework of it is all there.
So one thing there is the connection. You know, a lot of his movies all connect. There's a scene where there's a flashback scene where they're in the car driving with Sean Penn's brother, Chris Penn, and Harvey Keitel is telling the story. Someone asks him, "Hey, how's Alabama?" And he's like, "Oh, Alabama, she's fine or whatever." That's a reference to True Romance. Patricia Arquette's character in True Romance.
Oh,
apparently, Harvey Keitel. He said Harvey Keitel's character and her character used to know each other back in the day. And
wow, because Tarantino wrote that, right?
He wrote True Romance, yeah,
and
gave it to Tony Scott to direct because he was doing Reservoir Dogs, I believe. And also, I don't know if you might know this, but you know that John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction and Michael Batten's character are brothers.
Vega Brothers.
The Vega Brothers. Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish those would actually connect. So Jake, we are unaware who is challenged next. So why don't you tell us, man?
Yeah. So I'm pulling an audible. And you know, I have the power to do this because I created this concept here on Apocaflix Movies. And so you can shake your head all you want. That's fine. But I'm pulling an audible here, and there is a movie out there that the four gentlemen around me have not seen, and I've been trying to get them to watch for a very long time. And so I'm going to challenge all four of them.
Cool. So we'll do this to you next week, and you watch 4 movies.
I will gladly watch all 4 movies. So we have 2 options. Well, we can do this. We can do it separately, and we can watch all this, or we can make this an upcoming watch along. It is everyone's choice outside of me, but I am challenging all 4 of you to a very incredible spoof movie, and that is Fanboys. You are all challenged to watch Fanboys, the Star Wars spoof movie about Episode 1, and I cannot wait because I've been pushing this movie on you guys for a very long time.
And it backfired.
We were supposed to watch it on our trip to LA last
year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about
we
this
never
a year
ended
ago,
up watching.
We're supposed to do it.
So I am challenging all 4 of you to watch Fanboys.
Awesome. I'm not mad at that. I've been wanting to watch that, so I'm down.